The Super Bowl 58 matchup is set after a pretty bonkers Niners-Lions game sets up a battle of the red teams as the Super Bowl logo conspiracy falls apart. The Niners against the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 58 LVIII 2024, whatever we want to call it. The Niners, the early odds, by the way, a point and a half favorite against the Chiefs. The over-under set at 47.5. The Chiefs taking down the Ravens. These two teams have one thing in common. Their defenses are among the best in the NFL, although the Niners defense had some issues their last two games. They found a way to win either way. It is, I would argue, the best team in football, San Francisco, against the best player and quarterback. That is the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Now, we here at Chat Sports will be live for Super Bowl 58, plus live videos for you all week long. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. The Chiefs and the Ravens played a game that looked like it could be a banger for a while. It was, 3 scores in the first 4 drives, and then 1 scoring drive in the final 11 or 12 or whatever it was. The Chiefs cling to a lead over Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, 13 of 23, 1 score. The Chiefs defense shut down the Ravens. They got the ball to the half-yard line on 1 drive, and then Zay Flowers fumbled. The Chiefs did not run the ball well against a Ravens defense that was stout all year long. That was a battle of defenses, and the Chiefs came out on top. In the Lions-Niners game, that was a tale of 2 halves. The Lions had a 17-point lead at halftime, and the Niners rattled off all of the points after that. The Lions got a late touchdown to make it a 3-point game to kind of backdoor a cover. They seemed like they were going to cover no matter what. The Niners' defense and offense was non-existent in the first half, but failed 4th downs, a fumble, a defense that couldn't stop a nosebleed in the second half from Detroit, all led to a historic conference championship game comeback by San Francisco. They are playing the Chiefs in this year's Super Bowl. Some injury news on both sides here. Derrick Nnadi, Skyy Moore, and Kadarius Toney all missed this game. Now, among some other banged-up injury stuff, Charles Omenihu also left the game with a knee injury against the Ravens. That is worth monitoring. That is a player who has been banged up, has missed some time this year, or missed some time in that game. Big loss if he cannot go. We shall see. Willie Gay, questionable to play, did not play against Ravens with a neck injury. Joe Thuney, the pectoral injury, he wants to go through it. Some conflicting doctor info. We shall see if he is able to go. Christian McCaffrey, by the way, under the radar, did not play in the final drive. Landed on his head pretty painfully, kind of awkwardly, working on kind of his back of his neck. So head/neck for McCaffrey. We'll monitor that one. Ambry Thomas rolled his ankle. I think he's going to be okay. We shall see. And Deebo Samuel played through that shoulder injury. He was banged up. He was feeling it a couple times, but I think he'll be good to go. But McCaffrey, don't sleep on that injury for San Francisco. The pinned comment of today's show. Who do you have winning this year's Super Bowl? C for the Chiefs or 4 for the 49ers. Vote for me at the pinned comment, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. All right, let's go team by team, the players to watch in this one. First up is Brock Purdy. Made some massive plays down the stretch. Some scrambling, some throws, some reckless moments he got away with. It was a fairly Purdy performance by the Niners quarterback. I don't mean the pun of Purdy. I mean it was a fairly typical Purdy effort in some big games, some wild moments there. He is not the better quarterback in this game. His playmakers are better. His supporting cast is better. He needs to make a few out-of-structure plays again, though, to beat a talented Chiefs defense. George Kittle is number 2. He was very much held in check in this past game by the Lions defense. He did not do that much. The Chiefs defense didn't allow much tight ends. 4 catches for 31 yards between the two players. you need more from Kittle and probably get him more involved. I thought it was a little heavy on the Brandon Ayuk attack. I think the middle of the field is a better matchup to attack for the Niners in this game. Now, as mentioned, we'll be live for this Super Bowl matchup in 2 weeks, give or take. But we have free videos for you every single day in the meantime. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/chatsportstv, for more free NFL free agency, draft, trades, news, rumors, etc. here on the show. Number 3 player to watch, Fred Warner, the linebacker. He's so good. The Lions bullied the Niners up front for the first half, and then the defense woke up, and Fred Warner's play was a massive factor in that performance. This is one of the best off-ball linebackers in football. 13 tackles against the Chiefs. Yeah, he's really good. Nick Bosa, by the way, 2 sacks. 2 massive sacks against the Detroit Lions when he was on defense. At times, got out of position in the run defense. They kind of fixed the scheme a little bit in the second half as far as I'm concerned. Bosa and Warner, unquestionably, 2 key players to watch on defense. Finally, Deebo Samuel. Could have gone Brandon Ayuk here too, but Deebo had 8 catches, 89 yards, plus 3 carries, 7 yards. I am very curious who L'Jarius Sneed will most match up against. I'm going to guess Ayuk as a more pure outside receiver. I think that means Deebo could be in for a big game against the Chiefs. It is score prediction time. Who you've got winning and what's the score in Super Bowl 50? I think it's going to go all the way down to the wire. My gut tells me the Niners, but they've escaped twice already. I don't have a great feel for it right now. What do you think? Chiefs-Niners score prediction in the comments section. Let's talk Chiefs players to watch it. And who else can we begin with Patrick Mahomes? Not his best year. Hasn't mattered in the postseason. He's carried his team so far. The run game's been inconsistent. Mahomes has been Mahomes. In large part, his connection with Travis Kelce playing a massive role in his team's success. The Kelce-Mahomes combo remains as good as ever in the postseason. They're kind of like playoff warriors-ing their way through of like, the season's okay, and they wake up in the postseason for some of those Warriors, or at least one of their championships, I should say. Kelce, by the way, 11 catches on 11 targets for 116 yards and a score against the Baltimore Ravens. The safeties for the Niners, not as good, and they had a tough day stopping Sam Laporta, by the way, in this past game. Defensively, how about Chris Jones, the defensive tackle? I love his game. He is impactful. He is impressive. The Niners' right side of the line, John Feliciano, Colton McKivitz, is not that great. I would love to see Jones on Feliciano and see how we can attack that Niners offensive line. 2 of the best head coaches left in this matchup. Go figure, right? Turns out coaching matters. Pick a head coach for me. AR for Andy Reid or KS for Kyle Shanahan. Number 4 is L'Jarius Sneed. He forced the fumble on Zay Flowers that changed the game so impactfully and drastically against the Baltimore Ravens. I think he's going to get Brandon Ayuk more than he'd get Deebo Samuel or George Kittle. But Ayuk had a ton of targets for the 49ers, had the touchdown, the huge play. Take away one of those guys is a big impact on the Niners offense. Finally, Rashee Rice, the wide receiver, 8 catches, 46 yards. The Chiefs defense early on against the Niners defense early against the Lions allowed some drag, some short stuff, and some deep digs. I don't love Rashee Rice on the deep dig. I don't trust any of these Chiefs receivers. Can he make those plays? Or can he keep thriving on some of the design stuff and the drag routes that he feasted on all season long? I think the roster favors San Francisco. But the quarterback matters so much, especially when it's Patrick Mahomes. I am hopeful just for a big game, a great game. We've had some awesome playoff games this year. I hope that continues in Super Bowl 58.